Hello and welcome to the first of the how-to videos. This is telling you how to do certain aspects of car and bike maintenance. Today we're going to do an oil and filter change on the Ford Fiesta. The car I'm going to use is a 2015 Fiesta 1.5 TDCI. The 1.4 and the 1.5 are very similar, so if you have a 1.4, this video will be just as helpful as if you have a 1.5. This particular car has done 141,000 miles, but I change the oil for him every 5,000 miles, and as a result, even though it's done such high mileage, it still drives like new and will easily see 250,000 miles. This car will easily do that. So let's get on with it. 2015 1.5 TDCI. Currently showing 141,000 miles, but still driving like new. The oil filter is down there, so we'll have to remove the air filter box. Good opportunity to replace the air filter at the same time if you want to, but I'll show you how to do it. To start with, we're going to take this off. This just literally lifts up. There's a couple of poppers which allow it to be easily removed, and then once removed, put that nice and safely over there, and now you've got an opportunity to look at the engine. Here is a fuel filter, air filter, oil filter, buried down there a little bit. So now we're going to remove this unit here. So to remove this, undo that there, that one, not that one, this one. Undo these 4 bolts. Make sure you just undo them. You don't have to screw them out because they stay within the cover. Pull this little red tab and then pull that off. Down here there's a hose which you just physically remove. Little air hose, and then you can lift this up, disconnect there, and then you can pull this up completely out the way. See, look, those screws are held in the case, they won't come out. That gives you the opportunity of removing and inspecting the air filter, and then we can remove the filter box. Now on the side there is a little bracket that's screwed on this particular car, and no, I didn't do it. There's a screw there which holds this bracket on, which holds all of that wiring in position. But on this particular car it's broken off, so that just falls down. But if yours isn't broken, you'll have to remove that, and then basically flick this back over there and then lift the box out the way. The good thing when the box is lifted off, if there's any crap in there like leaves or anything, you can tip it upside down, empty it out or blow it out. Good opportunity for it to be nice and clean for when you put it all back together. Now that that's out the way, and here's that little bit that's normally screwed to the airbox, that there is the oil filter housing. So we get a socket, and that literally unscrews and brings the oil filter with it. Connect the socket, unscrew it, and then as it unscrews you'll find that the cap will come off complete with the oil filter itself. Just put it out nice and gently, and the oil filter, oh, this particular one, the oil filter has stayed in. Unusual, because normally the oil filter comes out with that bit there. So you just pull the oil filter, and there it is. A filthy, dirty, oily filter. That goes, obviously, straight in the bin. Now that's out, give that a really good clean. You can see inside there, it's not full of oil or anything like that, but you just have to make sure it's nice and clean so that you don't end up introducing crap into the engine with a new filter. Now I personally, this is only personal preference, I always like to buy this brand because consistently it's shown to be one of the best brands on the market. Yes, they're more expensive, but you pay a little bit more for a good quality product. And really, when you think about it, this item is protecting your engine. So you can get one for a £5 or you can pay 11 quid. Well, it isn't a lot of money to protect your engine. So that's what I buy. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to buy the same. And then you've cleaned the housing, making sure of course that everything's ready. When you take the new filter out the box, this bit here must have an O-ring on it. I've never found one yet that hasn't, but you always check there's an O-ring on that because that holds it into the and seals it in the engine. That bit there goes into the cover, and here, this is really important, is the O-ring that you must use on the cover in order to ensure that it doesn't leak. So look inside and see where the hole is that the little O-ringed prong goes. Make sure you get that prong lined up with the hole and then put the filter in. Once the filter's in, you can then refit the end cap. New O-ring's been fitted, and you fit the new the end cap, being careful that as you do it up you don't cross thread it, because if you cross thread it you'll have to go and get another cap. Do it up, nip it up, make sure it's done up and tight. Doesn't want to be over tight because it's plastic, remember. And then that basically is the oil filter fitted. So now you can put your air filter box back on. New air filter if you're going to fit one. And then we'll have a look underneath at how we physically drain the oil. Right, so we're about to drain the oil. The socket we're using is 13/16. 13/16. Position a nice bowl, I've got a washing up bowl, underneath the plug. Remove the drain plug until the oil runs free. Allow it to drain for about 15 minutes and then we can refit the drain plug. So now that's finished draining, wipe it clean. Get the sump plug, refit it, Nip it back up. Don't do what some people do and do it up really tight. Just nip it up. Don't do it up really tight. And then that's the underneath ready. See where we did the oil filter? You've got some oil on the side of the engine, so just wipe that off so that it remains clear, so that you're not dripping all over the floor. And then it's time to refill. So now we're going to fill her up with oil and then check the level with the dipstick. Now, I normally decant the oil. I mean, some people pour it in direct from the canister it comes in, but because I buy it in bulk, I normally just decant it into these silly little 1 litre things, so at least then I know how much has gone in. And you pour this in, and after you've put the required amount in, it's then a good idea to run the engine for a few seconds, just to, a minute, just to run it, and then dip it to see where the level is. And then you can adjust the level as required to get it dead right. Right, so after a few of them, we then clean the dipstick so it's nice and clean, stick it in, pull it back out again, read where the oil level is, and as you can see it's at the bottom of the stick, so on minimum. So we know that at this particular present in time we need to put probably another one of those in. Then once that's gone in, I've already run the engine, so it's just a matter of now doing the final check with the dipstick to see where it should be. And now you can see it's halfway, so we can probably do another half and then that'll be up to level. Place this over the studs, pop it on, and there you go. Give it a wipe over just to make sure it's clean. Oil and filter change done. And as I said to you before, the 1.4 engine is exactly the same really to work on as the 1.5 as regards to the oil and filter change. Of course, your car may have, show me fucking cleared it because we could have shown it, may have in the centre of the dash a service counter telling you that the oil service must be done. In order to clear that, all you do is you make sure you press the accelerator and the brake with the ignition on, engine not running, for 20 seconds. That will clear the display, and then it will come back on when the next service is required.